This is it, baby. We're putting the ram in the wind. We're going to southern Colorado. We're meeting up with my good friend Steve Decker from the Elk Foundation, and Zach and I are on the trail of the giant wapiti this week on Red Arrow TV.
You look like somebody I shot once. About the same size. We'll see you later. We found the mountains, baby. We were coming through the desert flat saying that it better start shaping up to look more like elk country. We came over the rise back there and it was like Paradise Valley, man. Beautiful. I'm excited.
Well, I was pumped about this week, man, for a lot of reasons. One being that elk hunting with a bow is probably my all-time favorite thing to do. The other being that Zach is gonna get to come out with us and hunt. He never hardly gets to come hunt and get out in the country and do what he likes to do. I mean, he's constantly on tour. You know, he's got 50 million people pulling him in 50 million different directions. He's bringing his father-in-law, Manny Mason. I was just looking forward to seeing if Zach and Manny could get their first bull elk with a bow.
Well, I'm mean as gravel, I'm poor as dirt, and I like things better the way they were. Well, I'm strong in the head, but I get things done. I spend too much money to have a little fun. Come on. I ain't changing, I'm a stubborn man. So can you love me like I am? Can you love me, baby, like I am? Yeah.
Well, me and Josh and Dean roll into camp, and we get there a little bit early, and it turns out, unbeknownst to us, two celebrities are already in camp.
Where's we park at? Yeah, is there any specific spot that's better than...
Well, I just pulled down and back into Lee and Tiffany's truck there in that red truck.
Ladies and gentlemen, life is good, life is fine. Lee and Tiffany are in camp with us.
Finally got them all wired in where they're at every day now. It's like we're leaving it in a perfect spot for these boys. In reality, the elk just finally started to move in, so, but we'll take credit for it.
Although Lee and Tiffany did not get to put an arrow in a good one, they were heading to New Mexico, and you're not gonna believe what went down there.
They just started to move in, so we were not successful, but that's okay because we're gonna be hunting in New Mexico tomorrow morning.
Yep. And we'll get one there. And Montana.
Yes.
Can you believe it? Look at the size of that toad. I know. That is a giant old bull. My first New Mexico UU bar bull. It's been 3 years in the making, but man, it's all worth it. Look at that thing. Shoot. Squeeze it. Oh, there it is. Let's see. It's bleeding a lot though.
Look at the blood there.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at the side of that hole.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. What an unbelievable bull.
That is a good bull.
Big bull. I've hunted here for 3 years, and this is the first year that I've ever shot a bull, and it was
This is our year.
well worth the wait. What a beautiful bull. Oh my gosh.
Once we headed into town, got our licenses, got all legal, it was time to hit the hills. Well, we split up into teams. I'm heading out with Mike, my guide. Zach is heading out with Mark from AXT Sights, Steve from the Elk Foundation, and his guide, Jimmy Hill. And Manny is heading out with Ryan, AKA Reno. Now, Manny and Ryan are heading to some higher ground where early in the week, Lee and Tiffany had put a wild game camera and got some awesome pictures of a bunch of bulls tearing up a water hole.
Learning to live with what's around him. Oh, just trying to survive. That's a mountain man. Oh, that's a mountain man.
Well, everybody saw bulls that morning, and it wasn't until lunchtime of that first day that we had our first close encounter with a big bull.
Came back to get our bags that we dropped to go on that run after these elk. And we're taking off our coats and putting our stuff away, and I got my bow tied to my back. And we spot a huge bull up on the hill. So we gotta go get after him. He's fired up a little bit. Here, come on, let's get up in these trees. Yeah. I see the cows are all out there now. Big mess of cows.
You know, we're moving from tree to tree, trying to get to a point where we can cut these cows off and get a shot at the bull as he passes by.
Trying to hustle down there. Might be able to get up in here.
Well, Mike and I go charging ahead, and Josh is hanging back, and he's trying to tell us that the last cow in the bunch has spotted us, and she's about to bust us.
Let's run out there and see how close we can get.
When this bull spooked, I was ready to chase him from here to kingdom come, but sometimes you just gotta trust your guide. You know, Mike knows these elk, he knows the territory, and he said, I feel confident that based on where they went, they're gonna bed down in this one thicket by this water hole.
Right there, another, what, 20 steps?
Another 20 and it would have been all done. But
He's a good bull too, but the good news is we put 3 bulls to bed, basically. 3 good bulls and a bunch of cows to bed, so hopefully this evening we can get on one of them. I don't really care which one because they're all studs.
Well, I thought we had come pretty close to getting a monster bull, but it turns out that Zach and Manny were just mere seconds away from having shots at bulls even bigger than the one we saw.
The cows were out like where that bush is. They were all out staring at me. I mean, they had already made me. They're sitting there looking at me. And he's right around. I'm looking through the bush right at the bull. And I'm right behind the bush. And he's staring at me. And then I sit there for 3 minutes quiet. Next time I'll draw and then step out, but I stepped out half a step, drew, and was looking at him, and he's looking right at me.
I hate to be needy. Now
If he was broadside 60 yards, it would have been.
Oh, I would have been down for you.
Well, that's going to haunt me for a long time.
What's nice about it?
I stepped out and drew. It's getting my level. He barked. Did you see it? Yeah. If I'd had 2 more seconds, I could have shot him. From 10 minutes to 2 seconds, we're getting closer.
Man, so I heard you got.
Well, we got into position. His approach was at such a slow speed, I didn't draw. But then when he turned the corner and pranced up my lane, he picked it up a little bit into a little bit of a lope. So when it was now or never, I pulled. And it was a beautiful animal, and it just spooked, and then we just let it go. Tried to call it back.
He was coming to his cattle call, though. He was on a rope. I mean, it couldn't have came any perfect, because I thought, oh no, the more was excellent. He'd make some noise. I thought, man, they're going to go at that straight angle like that, and we're going to miss the opportunity. And all of a sudden, I look down here, and he right through here. I thought, oh, I could have had him. Here it is. I could have had him at 20 yards right here.
Manny was caught right in the middle of the classic bow hunter decision-making time. Do you draw your bow well in advance of this bull stepping out and then maybe risk getting too tired to hold it and have to let down if he stops? Or do you wait till he gets out where you can get a shot at him and then draw and risk him seeing that movement? That's a tough one, man. It's a case-by-case call, and it's no one right answer.
Maybe somebody with more experience than I have could have caught him there because it wasn't moving too much, but that wasn't my shot.
Yeah. Dang it.
Yeah, nice work, guys.
Me and Mike are sitting here building a blind, and we kind of put some elk to bed over here. We feel like those elk that ran from us today topped out and bedded down over here. We've moved into the water tank that they're most likely to hit before they go to feed for the evening, so it's a nice little spot. Our wind's kind of just so. It'll do. Plus, we're right in the middle of a spot where we've heard, a bunch of bugles, all 3 bulls today. It's a good spot, though. We'll sit here for a while and see what comes in.
In my experience, a plan is just a list of things that don't happen when it comes to hunting. But in this case, Mike knew his stuff, and just like clockwork, here they came.
I think it's the bull, though. I can't see him. He's walking right to us, though. That's him. He's ranging. I'm not gonna shoot yet.
Noticed right away that the shot was high. I was still in killing mode, man. I was still thinking, I gotta get another arrow in this bull to put him down. And I run off down through the brush, and I'm chasing after this bull, just hoofing it after this bull. And all of a sudden, I see the bull start just losing consciousness, man. And after that, I was just so pumped up.
He's down. He's down.
When he tipped over, man, I was on top of the world, baby.
Hey, dude, we got it.
In those situations, even when you kill the bull of a lifetime, you need to keep in mind not to overdo it with the man love. 1 hug is appropriate, holding on to someone for no more than 2 seconds. And you gotta let go, or it gets weird.
Oh, that was freaking amazing. That was so amazing.
You can see in this Hoyt impact replay that the bull dropped a good 10 inches or more. That's something that it's such a hard game, especially with white-tailed deer, but in this case, even with a big elk, you know. Is he keyed up enough and ready to go where he's gonna react to the shot? And in this situation, I held pretty low, but I could have held even underneath him and would have still hit him perfect.
Oh my God. This doesn't happen in real life. He is a stud. They gonna make a new movie about this thing, because he looks like King Kong, Godzilla, and the Loch Ness Monster all rolled up into one. Look at that flyer, man. Look at those twin little flyers and a
kickers here.
Yeah.
Crab claw here.
Gosh darn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
By what you got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
7 by 8, baby.
7 by 8, man.
Tell you what, God's good to us, man. That is, I'm telling you, this is it. This is the whole deal right here. Look at, I mean, just look around us right now. Just being in this environment is a privilege, and then to get to even see one of these, much less put an arrow in a good one. I'm thankful, dude. That's amazing. What a hunt.
The cool thing about where we were hunting down in the low country like that was the fact that I could drive the ram right up to the bull, and we were thinking about loading this thing whole to take it back to camp to surprise everybody.
Really, what I want to do is see how you and me and Josh are gonna get this daggone thing in here.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting.
It's fun. I'm a cameraman.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
All right, that's fine. Well, I'm gonna see how we gonna get it in here then.
Mike said he'd done it before. He seemed to be confident, so after we tagged him up and gutted him, the three of us went to loading this sucker in the back of the ram.
But it's 1 a.m. and I'm still with my friends. I know I got it coming once this party ends, 'cause I can't behave and do what you say.
No trouble, went right in there.
I'm just hard-headed and I ain't gonna change.
Yes. I can't believe we just did that.
We get back to camp, and I'm trying to play it off. I cooked up this story about, I shot a coyote and we were tracking him or whatever.
Funny thing about this coyote, though, he got antlers all over his head. I killed the big one. That's the 7 by 8. That's the non-typical one.
I knew when y'all were out in the field.
I know. It was hard to keep a straight face when we were talking about the coyote I shot tonight.
Dang, dude.
I mean, look at the mass on that dude. If you look at his bases, you can barely fit 2 hands around it. And he's got these cool matching non-typical points.
Biggest coyote I've ever seen, for sure.
Well, man, this was a dream come true for me. I mean, just a simple country boy from Central Virginia and killed the bull of a lifetime out in Colorado. I mean, I'm just blessed and super privileged to have friends like Mark Garcia and Steve Decker and the Elk Foundation that set this trip up, and Jimmy Hill, who took us hunting, and my main man Mike that got me the bull and put us in the right spot.
Just from chasing the bull in the morning to like setting up on him and all working out.
You got him in the truck whole. Absolutely.
Unbelievable. You know, we work out sometimes.
We work out.
You guys got a weight room here. I'm gonna go check it out.
And even though Zach and Manny didn't get to send an arrow at a big bull, they came within just seconds and inches away from getting shots at bulls that are people's bulls of a lifetime. And as far as elk hunting goes, it couldn't have gotten any better. We all had a ton of fun, man. We'll see you next week on Red Arrow TV.